Hello, everybody. I am Lieutenant Commander Alyssa Nickel, and I am the Military Justice Department Head up at Naval Justice School. As such, I supervise military justice training for all of our accession students, both our officer students throughout the basic lawyer course, as well as our enlisted paralegals in the legalman accessions course. I am a part of the military justice litigation career track. I am a specialist one within that track. Individuals who specialize in military justice, we call ourselves either MJLQ, so that's military justice litigation qualification, or say we're on the track, which is sort of like an MJLCT. So we hear those words kind of interchangeably. But what it means is that these judge advocates have made a decision to focus on courtroom litigation and military justice for the entirety of their careers. It is extremely dynamic specialty that requires you to have the flexibility of thought and professionalism to practice as a prosecutor, as a defense counsel, as a victim's legal counsel, usually, and then as well take on other challenging assignments, perhaps as an instructor, perhaps operationally on a ship or in some sort of a forward deployed unit, or advising commanders in another capacity. Prior to my current job at Naval Justice School, I started out my first tour in Naples, Italy back in 2012, where I rotated between different assignments as a legal assistance attorney, a trial counsel, which is our word for prosecutor, and a defense counsel. After spending 3 years in Naples, I had the opportunity to spend 2 years in a dual-hatted position in Norfolk, Virginia, working as a staff judge advocate to NCIS, as well as special assistant United States attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia. After spending 2 years there in that position, I took on a role again in Norfolk, Virginia as a victim's legal counsel, where I directly represented service members who were victims of sexual assault, child abuse, and domestic violence. Did so for 2 years there before I made it back up here to Naval Justice School as the Military Justice Department head. Soon, I will sadly be leaving NJS and heading back to Norfolk for a third tour, but this time as a defense counsel in a supervisory role down at Defense Service Office Southeast. For me, this was always a passion area. I wanted to do military justice pretty early on. When I was in law school, I did have a number of internships and externships that allowed me to get into court with a city attorney's office and a Commonwealth's attorney's office down in Virginia. So I knew that I loved to litigate, but what surprised me about the JAG Corps is how much I love to represent individuals. I got in thinking I probably wanted to be in the courtroom, but that I probably wanted to be as a prosecutor. And here I am 10, 11 years in, and while I take great pride in the work I've done, both as a trial counsel and a special assistant U.S. attorney, I think that my best days in the JAG Corps are the ones where I represented service members. And I think something that has continued to draw me to the military justice career track is that ability not just to represent the government, but also to provide direct representation to service members, which we really can't do in the other career tracks. So that's something I do take great pride in. So coming in wanting to be a prosecutor and then sort of realizing my passion for both defense and client representation in general solidified in my mind the idea that this was the correct path for me. I have had the opportunity to do a number of other sort of off-track opportunities to include I've been able to get underway numerous times. I got to go on some carriers and large amphibious vessels and sort of experience more operational side of the Navy. And I've also had the privilege of being up here at Naval Justice School as an instructor. So while I love all of those opportunities and have had the chance to learn from them, I've really valued the military justice career track in that it allows me to have the primary focus of being a litigator, but then, perhaps going off and pursuing other opportunities, short or long, and then coming back to sort of what I consider my core passion area. So I really like that the career track envisions not just staying in courtroom as strictly either a prosecutor or a defense counsel for 20 plus years, but it envisions you actually taking those opportunities to serve the greater JAG Corps mission and then kind of come back home to litigation. The most rewarding part of being a military justice specialist in the JAG Corps for me has always been the people. When I think about why I chose to do military justice and why I continue to do military justice, I really just see a lot of faces. I see my defense clients, who are facing sort of the biggest challenges of their life and facing really serious repercussions, and being able to get them some relief in one way or the other, and just how grateful they are to have somebody who's really on their side fighting for them. Very similarly, I picture my clients I had as a victims legal counsel who do not always have a whole lot of faith in the system, but then they see somebody who is willing to fight for them, let them know that they do have rights, and help them exercise those rights, and the impact that you're able to have on people's lives and really their futures in that context means so much to me. And even on the trial side, in the government side, I see in my mind just the faces of either victims or witnesses, or other people who have been impacted by crimes, and being able to sort of seek justice on their behalf, and seeing those people know that their concerns, their injustices are not falling on deaf ears, that someone will sort of take it seriously and dive right in. I also see other people, the mentors I've had, the peers I've had, both co-counsel and, believe it or not, opposing counsel, where we've been able to be really good friends and fight but come through it together. And the sailors who've supported me in a paralegal role all along. I see all of those people who kind of got me through the hard times, trained me up, and sort of made me who I am today, and are making me who I'm going to be tomorrow.